Game design is wild sometimes. In Fist of the Forgotten, I was just trying to do the classic game design maneuver where I effectively trap the player in an area that they can only escape with a new ability. After defeating this boss, the player gains the grapple ability and has some crazy mobility, but I didn't want the player just to go back and wander about the level with no clue how to use it, or that they even had it to begin with. I'm also not a fan of heavy-handed tutorial text screens that explain things before the player even has a chance to figure them out on their own. So this type of scenario is probably my favorite game design technique. You've likely seen it in a number of games. Maybe you've gotten thrown into a pit and the only way to escape is using the new jump ability, or maybe you're trapped in a cave where the only escape is to break the floor with a new heavy attack you just unlocked. I was just trying to do that for the grapple ability in Fist of the Forgotten by placing a room high above the player with a switch to open the doors to escape. The thing with Fist of the Forgotten, though, is that unlike minigames, the player doesn't have a specific jump height or movement speed. You can build up momentum sliding down slopes, and you can use ramps to jump higher. And at one point during a development stream, I realized that it might be possible to reach that room without the grapple.
You can almost make it up there.
And after a couple attempts, I realized it was not all that difficult to get up there.
Nice.
But I thought, surely I couldn't get past the rest of the level without the grapple, right?
As I get past the rest of the level. Yeah, and I can get to the next level.
Reaching the end of the level is pretty much a guaranteed soft lock. Maybe some speedrunners would figure out some sort of no grapple run, but the mere mortals playing would be stuck unable to progress. Though I was confident it wouldn't be possible to get past the giant laser in the next level without the momentum of the grapple.
Oh yeah, that's bad. The next level you gotta have the grapple, because you can't get... What?
I think that might have been due to some recent tuning I did, since that section was obnoxiously difficult, but eventually the game does become impassable without the grapple. So then I was faced with a bit of a conundrum. I didn't want to make the beginning area with the grapple too challenging, as players were just starting to learn the mechanic, but the other mobility options in the game made it almost impossible to create easily grappleable areas that were inaccessible without the grapple. And then Woland reminded me of another mechanic I had for the grapple. Using the grapple to remotely grab switches was something I planned to teach the player later on in the game, but it seemed like the perfect solution here. I just needed to create a wall with a small gap in front of the switch. Of course, I was still concerned that players might find a way around this, and I didn't even get to finish my thought when...
No. Speedrunners might find a way to get through that.
A little player clip addressed that issue. I do wish every game design problem I've run into could be solved this cleanly. By the way, don't mind the placeholder art here, this level is still in the blockout stages. If you want to see some of the more polished art, check out the Fist of the Forgotten demo on Steam. And if you want to access more of the game than is in the demo, you can become a patron like these wonderful people. If you're already one of my patrons, thank you so much. Your contributions help me continue to do this indie game dev thing and hopefully put out some entertaining and informative videos. I know this video is a little shorter than usual, but I thought this was a fun little game design experience worth sharing.